Hello. I cannot hear you. I can see you, I can't hear you. No. No. Let me make sure, hold on. Let me make sure all my settings are correct. Two. I have audio, I have... Huh. Yeah. No. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay. Huh. I don't. Hold on. Give me one. Let me check one thing. Okay. No. No, I can't hear you. Do you want to jump out and then come back in?
Can you hear me now?
I can. Yes.
Oh, okay.
All
I
right.
don't know whether it was because I had my earbuds in, but that shouldn't make any
It
difference to the,
should. No, it shouldn't. But yeah.
so I took them out. Doesn't matter.
Okay. How are you
I'm just,
doing?
well, I'm doing very well, but I just found out that your social security number and mine and 2.4 billion
Everyone's. Yeah, everyone's.
in the Canada and the UK. I didn't know this, but I just found it out.
No, it's the. I mean, I don't even know what it means, but it's not being very widely reported. It's not. I mean, it's not, or it's not with at least with the sense of urgency that it feels like it should be. Yeah, yes.
I wonder, I don't know. Apparently you can buy them for $2.5 million.
Well, no one, they tried to sell all of them. All, yeah, as just like on the dark web, everyone's social security number. Just you could, but I guess they couldn't sell it, but they're still they are. Someone will take pieces of it, but now they have to. I don't know how. I don't know how that works. Yeah, I mean, they put auctions. Are there illegal?
I don't know. I have a double conspiracy theory that 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 this is fake news, but it's designed by the people who are offering to tell you what to do about
Oh
it.
yes, no, okay, that yes.
When you do that, that's
Um,
actually
yes.
when they steal, right? Like,
Well, yeah, no, and I would say if you want the smoking gun of that, I'm pretty sure the reports the reason we know about this is because of reports that came from those companies saying this is the
yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
But if they have everybody's everything, doesn't it kind of cancel itself out? I don't know. I mean,
I mean, well, right. No, I mean in the sense that one would hope if they have everyone's everything, then the system then has to solve that problem, not individuals, and so that they will
yeah.
hopefully come up with whatever.
So everybody will have to come up with a new number.
Maybe I couldn't. I mean, I know my social security number, but remember the day when we all knew 10, 15 people's phone numbers in our heads. Like, I would never be able to do that now. My phone does that for me. So I don't know if I could have a new social security number at this
No,
point.
I know. I know my social security number. I know the first telephone number I ever had.
You still.
Yeah,
Huh.
because I use it. Because I use
Yeah,
it as a
yeah,
bank code. I
yeah.
use it as a
Just don't
little
admit
code.
that, Dad. Stop.
But it's a 4-digit number
Oh,
because those are only, and
Okay.
nobody could
Nobody knows what
possibly,
it is. Yeah, no, okay.
unless they look in my diary.
Right. Okay. Well, you just published you're publishing a memoir, so
No, they'd
no,
have
I
to
know.
have a very, very old telephone book. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, huh.
London A to K, 1955.
Stop. These things are
Oh, they
online.
can find it. No, they could find it, right?
Huh. Right. Well, I mean, if someone really wants to, yeah.
There were only two Findlays in it spelled our way,
Okay.
which was
No. All
which is
right.
actually remarkable because there are many more in this country. But
Yeah. Yes, no, I can remember being actually in the phone book in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and yes, I was the only or one of the only Findlays.
right.
Um, yeah. How was your
So
week? What's going on? Yeah.
George Santos is pleading guilty.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't until just now.
Okay.
He's going to fight it on Tuesday, and now apparently they had called 800 jurors and 30 witnesses.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe he's got a scheme to make money. Apparently, he's
He's
on
on Cameo.
an adult website. No,
Oh, he's on Only. No, okay. I predicted. Yes, he's on OnlyFans. Before that, he was on Cameo, and Cameo is a not racy, but more just like you can get D-level celebrities to wish your girlfriend happy birthday or whatever for like $50. And the moment he signed up for Cameo, I predicted he would get an OnlyFans account, which he eventually did. I mean, that just you could see the route he was going down, and that's. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you sent me two things which were really fascinating.
Yes.
And the first one, I really had difficulty grasping, but it was visually quite compelling that this woman was dancing around outside and having thrown her roommate's tarantula, but she was running as a Republican for city council. Is that it?
Yeah, that's just, it's one of those stories that just people are, but no, I don't know. But also it's just this ongoing thread of heartlessness, animal cruelty. It's how they are. I don't know how to say it. And
Okay, so you've got Mitt Romney's dog on top of the car.
yes,
You've got Joseph Kennedy Jr.'s dead bear in Central Park.
yes.
Although he didn't kill the bear.
He didn't kill the bear. Wait.
Abusing a court.
I still have questions. Oh no, he says he found the bear on the road. I didn't even know it might be.
And he could well have not. He could well have killed the bear.
I'm just saying. It's still not normal to stop and pick it up and say, "I want this. I'm going to take this roadkill and bring it into my car, and drive it around, and then go to a dinner party." And then, he's now solicited both sides. He said, "I'll drop out if you endorse.
Yes,
I'll
yes.
endorse you."
In other words, I have no policy. I have no shame.
This is
I'm for
tell me
sale.
this is only about you and about he couldn't more blatantly. It's wild. No, he's just
Maybe he wanted to tell people that he'd wrestled the bear to death, but it was a baby bear after all. So.
Yeah. No, and then you've got Christy Nome and her dog and her goat, and you've got.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
she was boasting. That was
again, that one. It's not even. I actually get what she's trying to tap into, and many people who defended her, you don't understand farm life, and I do. I bred rats, and I understand when sometimes a mother eats their entire litter. You just have to be like, oh wow, that's horrible, but I understand farm mentality actually. And I mean, Old Yeller. I mean, I know what she's trying to tap
Yeah,
into.
no, it's
It's a real thing, and she didn't need to tell this story. She still voluntarily told it 20 years later, specifically bragging about her children and telling them, I mean, the goriest details of it, and I still don't know why she thought that was in anyone's, I mean, except the really hardest core. We don't want anyone to have feelings at all. We think any kind of feelings are callous, and the hardest callousness. I mean, it's.
And having to shoot your old dog could actually be turned into a very tear-jerking
Yes,
positive.
oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, from a political point of view, you
It,
could get points for it,
yes.
but not if you boasted about how heartless or how.
I hated that dog, which was, I mean, it was a puppy. It was like 14 weeks old. Of course, it was trainable. You just didn't train it. And then the goat apparently just smelled, which, ma'am, are you familiar with goats? Like, I don't, like, I was just at the zoo. I just pet goats. Like, yes, they smell like goats. And you don't kill them. I don't get these people at all. So a regular viewer offers their sympathy for having to go to Walmart after your Walmart story last week.
What I was happy to go to Walmart,
Oh,
right?
okay. No, I thought it was a Howard.
No,
Okay.
it was exciting.
Okay.
It
Good.
was no, because maybe I forgot to tell you, on my way in, walking into Walmart from the parking lot, there was an elderly lady, but very fit
Uh-huh.
elderly lady with a backpack, actually, who got out of her car a bit ahead of me,
Uh-huh.
probably my age anyway. And she, of course, had her own shopping bag with her,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I just blurted out, oh, because I was kind of halfway between the car. I said, oh, I forgot my shopping bag.
Yes.
She turned around and she said, would you like mine? And I thought that this is really,
Yeah.
I don't know what. It wouldn't happen in East Hampton. They wouldn't
Yeah.
have me their Gucci shopping bag.
No. Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it was no, I know where to get freezer bags on aisle A20.
Yes.
No, that's good. It's good. I'm all for it, I guess. Yeah. So I don't know what else I haven't had any other exciting shopping experiences that I can think of. How about you? How was your week? How did things go?
My week was fine. It feels uneventful. I know. I'm thinking like what has happened. The Seattle Library website is back up. It was cyber attacked like months and months ago, and they just refused to pay it. And that's actually, I mean, I am a robust library user, and so that's affected my life, and it's
Yeah.
exciting. So that's been a big one.
You know whether they paid it or just
I don't believe they did. No, I think that they've just they hired their own people and just slowly have been whatever they needed to do to fix it. What I was surprised by was that they were able to recover the catalog the way it is, and so all my holds are still there, all the stuff that I have checked out, because I was like, if they don't know what I have checked out, I don't know what I have checked out anymore either. Like it's now gotten, because literally this was months ago,
you
like
check out books that you read online? Oh,
I do. Okay, so their electronic catalog has been open the whole time. That's all that for some reason that wasn't affected. It was only the ability. Not only could you not check out, or no, you could check out new materials if you knew your library number, but you couldn't return anything. And I had all these books that I had checked out, and again they got kind of mixed in with my regular collection.
I see.
And
Yeah, yeah.
so, but no, everything's, yeah, no, in fact, it kind of just was like it was paused. And so now everyone has about 2 weeks to return all your stuff. Oh, okay. I know what this is. Also from last week, So the name of the LA council person, Nate Holden, was the guy that we were talking about, who is still definitely not Willie Brown.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
I
he's
had not.
definitely black and
He
was
is.
definitely Donald Trump.
Yes. And then the anecdote about him turning white actually comes from Barbara Rez's book, who she was a Trump executive, and she tells the whole story. Donald was very scared. It's in her book that tells the whole story about that where this was documented years ago. And again, not Willie Brown. Um,
and it was Donald that was scared. It wasn't the black man who turned white. It was
no.
Donald who turned from red or orange to white or
Yes.
whatever.
But she specifically said after that event Donald would revel in saying this man turned white for, and she doesn't give any, she doesn't ascribe any motive to
No,
that. She just,
that speaks for
it
itself.
speaks for itself. Yes. No. So yeah. Yeah.
It's
And
his
that's, and
standard trope of turning it around, you
yes.
know.
And so, no, I mean,
Do you think he's really losing it now? I mean that he's
I don't, well, again,
really threatened by
oh yeah, no,
someone?
I do. Yes. First of all, I do. I think on a political level, yeah, he and the party have lost they don't know how to attach everything they attached to Joe. They really just wanted to sort of be like, she's the same as him. She actually put out a campaign ad where she was basically, I think they used the phrase no daylight between her and Joe, which isn't true. I mean, she's very, I think mostly, especially important with younger voters, she's more explicitly ceasefire than he is. And so, and I
Yeah.
think that that's important, but there, yeah, the Republicans as a party don't have a thing. Is he personally losing it? Hasn't he always rambled like this? Are they now just holding him accountable for it? Or is he losing it more because does he just sound worse? But no, I mean, the Elon Musk thing, he really was slurring his words. I mean, I don't know if, I swear X's people went in and cleaned it up and made, like, I used AI and again, conspiracy theories, I can't prove that, but they put out a high quality audio version where he sounds better, and they blamed it on the technology, but Elon also blamed the 40-minute delay on an attack that other employees said never happened too. So,
No, clearly his technical stuff failed because he's fired 75% of
well,
his
no, exactly,
employees.
yes, yeah.
So, but I think that there was an interesting commentary in the Times that kind of said like he was never a funny person, but
Right.
he did get his his personality going by saying funny things, even if they were cruel. And he's now completely lost his, like nothing he says, I mean, unless he's saying it to a crowd of supporters,
Right.
he can't land a line anymore.
Right.
In a sense,
Yes.
in that sense, he's lost his a kind of ammunition or a I don't know. The debate will be very interesting because I don't think she'll rise to any of his
No.
And if he's not allowed to walk around, and he probably won't be,
Right. No.
uh,
Menacingly. Yeah. No. I mean, um,
that was really bad. But yeah, so I
they'll
don't
wheel
know.
him on stage in Hannibal. Oh, go ahead. What?
Maybe there's hope. Maybe
Yeah. I mean, I think. I also and I guess the vice presidents have agreed to candidates have agreed to debate as well. So that's going to happen. Yeah. I think.
You said Vance is lower than Palin ever was?
Yeah. His unfavorability is lower than any candidate in the last 20 years. Though, let's be clear, Tim Walz's isn't actually much higher. Neither is Kamala Harris's, who was the vice presidential pick the last time around. But Palin's is actually.
Dan Quayle, he's lower than Dan Quayle?
No, he's not lower than Dan Quayle. I think that's how far back you have to go before you find someone who's unpopular. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think they keep digging up things that just keep making him sound, I mean, like Handmaid's Tale level of authoritarian control. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think, and I don't think Trump can only do reruns. Trump can only do, yeah, play the greatest hits to his crowd. And I don't think he knew, no, but I do think he has some policy things that he's saying, whether it's around, again, whether they're true or believable or not to anyone who knows his actual history or record doesn't matter if he can get to low information voters who say, oh, well, that sounds good. Yeah, no, that sounds good for me. I don't want to get too happy, but I do. I think at least anyone who actually watches the debates for themselves, both of them, I think both candidates, Harris and Walz, will easily step all over their opponent.
I think there's a chance. I think with Biden, there really probably was a bare ghost of a chance. But I think now there's
yeah. And no, okay. And then, all right,
younger voters.
Yeah, no, especially yes, especially with younger voters, and she's really, some of those younger voters, who explicitly wouldn't come out for Biden have already come out, and she's built a coalition. It's interesting. So, but yeah, no, Biden had a good week too. Biden actually, they had their first joint appearance. It had been reported that he was still kind of sour Harris and Pelosi and Schumer, but he came out on stage and people chanted, "Thank you, Joe." He's still pursuing this cancer moonshot. They invited a bunch of influencers to the White House, which I think they tried this like a month ago or 2 months ago, and it just didn't work. I don't think, again, those young people wanted to meet with Joe, but now that he did the right thing, stepped aside, and again, even I understand if he was bitter at those people, but they preserved his legacy. He would have been the guy who stood in the way and let Trump, so I think he did the right thing. People are excited about that. There's a lot of momentum, but he's still around. Martin Sheen is visiting him at the White House. The TV president visits the real president, and they got their photo op together. I mean, yeah, and then it is wild that Trump is still.
What's her name? Julia
Louis Dreyfus. Yes,
apparently was at a meeting of governors. All the governors.
She hosted
a meeting of female governors.
I think she really thinks she's running. I mean, I joke that, but she's really excited, and it's true. Harris has said in the past that she likes that show. That show is funny, but again, that character is not a role model. In fact, the producers of that show very clearly said, if any candidate in this race is like Selena from Veep, it's Trump. She's vainglorious. She'll do anything for a vote. She'll say anything in front of any audience. She's confused. She's not Kamala Harris, but it's great.
She's human, but she's a human.
But she's human. And that is the part where they can, yes, she's still Julia Louis Dreyfus, which is she's likable, she's funny, so yes, I know, and I think her presence on the campaign is welcome.
And people generally know or assume she's actually an intelligent human being.
Yes. No, I wonder, I'm sure, okay. So I was on a caregivers for Harris Zoom call this week. Seth Rogen was there, but he wasn't. Seth Rogen, the comedian. But he wasn't there being funny. In fact, it didn't even say Seth Rogen, actor, comedian. It said Seth Rogen, caregiver, and him and his wife talked about how both her grandparent and then her own mother had Alzheimer's, and her mother got diagnosed young at 55. And and I mean the whole thing. It was for. They call them the sandwich generation or sandwich caregivers when you have young children in your house and then you also are caring for aging adults, and that's more and more Americans. In any event, just because someone's an actor or a comedian doesn't mean they don't have a real life experience and interesting things to say, and
that's fascinating. And he did, so there were a lot of people on that Zoom, were there?
I don't know if they gave us an estimate of how many people, but it was a great call. I mean, again, there were childcare workers. There was a woman in North Carolina, but she told a story that is exactly like the ones I hear every day. And then when I go to Olympia and testify in our state, Exactly the same kind of stories.
Yeah.
She was working in a grocery store. She got a promotion to manager. 50 cents more an hour meant she no longer qualified for her childcare, so she lost her childcare completely. She lost her job. Fortunately, she ended up she got a job at her childcare. Fast forward 27 years, she's now the director of the childcare. She got educated and through the child. But I mean, no, and then the other thing that really resonated, and it was just, I can't remember. Okay, so Liz Schumer, the head of the AFL-CIO union, SEIU union, is who represents both child care workers and elder care workers. The head of Livet was there, Robin Livet was there. And I can't remember who said it though, but someone just said very, very plainly, other countries have social safety nets. The United States of America has women. That's who caregiving falls to. That's on both ends of the spectrum.
That's a very profound statement. It's kind of horrifying, but it's true. I mean,
and again, back to tie it all back, where candidates stand on that, where they stand on paid family leave, which Walz brought to Minnesota, where they stand on childcare and increasing, child tax credits and things like that. All those things count. Vance says he's for it, but he actually could have voted for it on August 1st, and he skipped the vote. So, but he's still campaigning, saying he's for the tax credit. Harris is saying she would actually implement a $6,000 tax credit in the baby's first year. Put your money where your mouth is. How you actually vote, what your actual record says. Harris Walz says we stand with families, and so it's.
Well, you can't. I mean, whatever Vance says, Trump we know has no. He actually doesn't understand it, let alone be in favor of something. He doesn't really comprehend it.
No,
it's so beyond the scope of his experience or his.
No, and then again, when he says, Project 25 isn't me or whatever. Well, now they had to delay this book because Vance wrote the foreword to the guy who basically is the architect of Project 2025.
Yeah.
But he has no other. You can see his own website. He has no other policies. Of course, these are all his own people. He's going to hire them back, and he's going to let them do what they want because he's going to go golfing. He doesn't know what Project 2025 is or isn't, and he doesn't care. It's not about
He's going to go golfing. That's true. Actually, if only. I mean, well, I suppose, yeah. He is.
But he's
going to turn the wheels of government over
to
extreme right wing.
Yeah, and that's the pretty explicit deal he's made out loud with them. It's not, he's not too secret about that, except sort of when he's in a neutral space, then he kind of. Yeah, I don't know.
And he wants to use the army to, he wants to have a personal army. Actually, he wants to be in charge of the army so that he can send soldiers to the border or to Seattle or New York or Chicago if crime increases, which it's not.
Right. Well, no, okay. This is important because, the statistics just came out. Violent crime actually did go up in Seattle. And this is important to me because I don't want to be one of those apologists like, no. Because, very famously, Fox News went to Seattle and Jesse Waters and interviewed people about crime, and people just literally blew him off. They literally just laughed him. They're like, and I do think people who live unsheltered is a problem, but I don't think sweeps are the answer. I do think open air drug use is a problem, but I don't think criminalizing them, jailing them is the answer. I do think, I'm less concerned. No, okay. I do think there is a reason things like, if you look at what's getting locked up in the stores, diapers, feminine hygiene products, very basic products are being stolen right now. I think there are reasons for that, and I don't think criminalizing people who are stealing basic necessities is the solution for that. I don't believe police are the solution for that, and I know that's where I get really more increasingly radical compared to someone else's. But I can tell you what I actually think are the solutions, and I'm not even saying at this point, because it's so unpopular, defund the police, but I'm saying there's funding for things like mental health supports, for harm reduction spaces where people can detox safely. For I think that there are lots of comprehensive solutions that but their crime narrative, well, on one hand, forces. I mean, even Gavin Newsom, who he still has Democratic presidential aspirations, but he's literally like, I mean, homeless sweeps are literally just moving people. I mean, a sweep is exactly literally that. It is moving people around.
What did they do?
It is literally just moving people around and often displacing them and often destroying their only things that they have, like a tent, their most basic shelters. I mean, some places like in Oakland do business in tents and things. It's up front in the sporting goods store because they just sell tents to the same people over and over as they get confiscated by the city. It's insane. Meanwhile, everyone insists that they're spending all their money on drugs, which is, yes, there needs to be a different way to do this. I don't think either party has the answers to that, actually. I really don't. I see our even technically Democrat, they call them moderate. I'm like, they're pretty right wing to me. City council just getting more and more of these, let's use sweeps, let's criminalize, and the same thing with our mayor and our city attorney. They all these sticks, and I'm not saying give people carrots, I'm not saying give people rewards for open air drug use, but I'm saying give people solutions.
Well, moving people is really got to do with probably cosmetics for tourists.
It does. No, it absolutely does. And it has to do with downtown business revitalization. The same thing, actually, because speaking of our mayor, he just announced that city workers who previously have been work from home for 2 days a week now will have to return 3 days a week. And they're not even pretending it's because of productivity or any increase of they're basically acknowledge what the data shows, which is people actually work best when they have flexibility. People, when their personal needs are being met, when they can do their job from home and also take care of their kids, that's actually how they're most productive. But they're worried about downtowns. They need workers in buildings so that downtown restaurants, rather than remodel downtowns, rather than say, oh, well, maybe relying entirely on huge office structures where people are in cubicles all day, maybe that is an old way that doesn't need to be. Their only solution is we're going to force people back into that because we need downtown. And so, I mean, they have everything backwards. And again, when I say they, I know I sound like a crazy radical. I am a crazy radical. I mean all of them. I mean the Democrats too. Let's reimagine what a downtown city is, so that yes, maybe it's being used less during the daytime, those 9 to 5 hours, but you have made more green spaces that make people want to come downtown. You don't have these oppressive parking laws. You open that up. There are lots of ways to do things that isn't forcing workers downtown, that isn't, sweeping homeless people away for photo ops to then make workers come downtown. I mean,
it's the idea that you can go back is very counterproductive, because if you're going to spend money on this, it should be to reimagine. First of all, better usage of the buildings that are empty, that are going to remain empty.
Yes.
And turn them. I don't know. You have to start with a building code so that you can turn them into residences.
Yes.
And then you've got residences. If you have more residential, more inexpensive residential, then somewhere in that region there's places for homeless people.
Yes.
That will bring them off the street. I mean, it just makes sense, but no, I don't know. People don't think long term, because I guess they're politicians. They're thinking about getting reelected.
I'm really seeing how that plays out. How it really, and especially, our last city council who was more progressive, but then they also, I guess, I don't want to say, they sold a bunch of progressive stuff, and then they realized, I guess the tide had turned, and they all just kind of threw in the towel, and so now we have these really, but yeah, they'll say again, they'll say anything just to get elected. They'll say anything and they'll give you the easy they'll give you what sound like solutions, and 5 or 10 years from now, when all the money they throw at homeless sweeps does not result in, I will tell you where homeless people were 20 years ago when I arrived in Seattle. They're the same place where they are now, and they're the same place where they will be in 20 years from now, unless you fundamentally do something different. But this council doesn't care. They will have gone on to other things. Some of them probably more law enforcement, city attorneys, and other kinds of like tough on crime positions that they'll campaign on. And whether or not the solutions, whether or not, in fact, and again, the police, it is not in their interest for crime to go down. They get more money every time crime goes up. So why would they solve crime? Why would they prevent crime? Why would they? They don't. They don't.
So you're saying that if they're successful, it means they go out of business.
Well, yes, or they would change.
In an extreme way.
No,
Well,
okay.
if they should be in a different business.
If police were successful, they would be the community servants that they claim they want to be, and they would be welcome in communities. They would be the person on the corner who people come for help and resources and to act.
Yeah, but they're scared to be on the corner. They're scared to be on the street. They're scared. They don't want to be.
Yeah, the moment you approach, they're already. Yeah, no, yeah.
They're already shooting you. I mean.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, no. What else? Are you anything good? Anything?
I've been doing some interviews for my book.
Yes. No. I mean, yes. You seem very casual. Like maybe it's just third book, because the other two books I felt like you were more. Or you are doing interviews. You are doing some.
I'm doing quite a lot, and
okay.
And you'll get a copy. I hope this coming week.
Okay. No. September 3rd.
I'm finally getting them from my.
Yes.
I had one, and then they sent them out to some people who had provided photographs and things.
Yes. Yes.
But they're doing it from England. They're doing it from Europe.
Yes.
So the ones that coming to me, I should be getting hopefully Monday, and I'll send you one right away. So
September
the 3rd is the official publication day.
Yes, but you can pre-order it now at all places that you
can pre-order it. People pre-order it.
Yes, and it is called Portrait of the Art Dealer, the Young Man.
Young Man.
New York in the 60s. Yes.
New York in the 60s. It's on Amazon. I would hope people would buy it at their local bookstore.
Yes. Yes.
Or borrow it from their library.
Yeah. So I said the library's catalog is back up. What you can't do is request a book yet. I tried to request it this week, but that service they're still putting. But the moment I can request it, they have your other two books. They have Victoria's books. They have 15 Minutes of Play. They have a number of books, some of which I think I may have requested, but I will request it as soon as it is requestable. All right. Have a great week.
Right.
I love you.
Have a great week.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.